Homegrown fashion marketplace Myntra has announced the third edition of its big fashion festival, a festive fashion dhamaka that is scheduled to start on September 23rd. Myntra has added 1.5 times more styles compared to the previous edition of the same sale and is expecting roughly 6 million customers, higher than last year's 5.5 million, to shop during the big fashion festival. Now, to give us insights on the big fashion festival and the road ahead at Myntra, joining me now is its CEO Nandita Sinha. Nandita, welcome to Startup Street. Celebrating the country's festive shopping spirit, you are expecting to witness a higher demand compared to previous years. How are you geared to meet this demand? You're looking at approximately 13,000 orders per minute at a peak. How are you geared up?
So before I begin, thank you so much for having me, but also congratulations on completing 3 years of Startup Street. It's been an incredible journey, as you said, and looking forward to the years ahead.
Thank you.
I think this year is very, very special for the festive season. After 2 years, consumers are really stepping out to celebrate. People are traveling to meet their families, celebrate with their friends, and really up their festive fashion. And that's where Myntra's BFF comes into play. How do we style these consumers as really the festive spirit gears up this year? We've seen great indications of it as we've entered the festive season with, the festivals of Rakhi, Ganesh Chaturthi, Onam, etc. We've seen a lot of growth happening across these months, and that's what we are hoping to see as we go forward. I think as we prep for the festive season, like you said, we have almost 6,000 brands that are participating in BFF edition this time, as well as 1.5 million styles, which is 1.5 times more than what it was last year. And that's what brings the excitement to the table. We have almost 100 plus new launches lined up. And like you said, on the tech side, we are gearing up for almost 9 lakh concurrent users at peak time. So that's really something that's how we are prepping for the festive season. We have 2 new properties, BFF specials, which is merchandise that brands have created for our customers because they are really excited about this festive season, and a BFF showstopper, which is like a daily festive dhamaka. So that's what's happening at our end as we prep for BFF.
All right, so lots of initiatives to woo shoppers, 100 plus new launches, that's what you said. But Nandita, Myntra's Omni channel play launched 2 years back by integrating with 1,000 stories from 100 brands has seen a massive scale up. This edition of Big Fashion Festival will see more than 300 brands from over 3,200 stores. What kind of GMVs are you expecting from this season?
While I won't be able to, talk about what kind of revenue we'll be expecting from this festive edition or the Omni channel, what I can tell you is that we are really, as you said, we've scaled 3 times over the last 3 years, and we've seen great traction across all of the Omni initiatives that we've been taking for the customer. 2 things I'd like to talk about, of what really has been happening in terms of growth. Speed has been a major initiative behind which we've invested. Myntra Express was launched early this year in April, and we are already seeing great traction where our metro, D2 speeds as well as overall speeds have seen a great increase over the platform. So our metro speeds our D2 speeds have increased by 67%. So speed is something which we will really, really invest behind. Omni is one such channel which allows us to play across the ecosystem and invest in speed to serve our customers better. So that's really our play on Omni, and we'll continue to provide speed and service to our customers.
Okay, all right. Let's now talk about how you'll deliver the massive orders that you're expecting. Who have you partnered with? What is the preparedness there?
Yeah. So I think as we look at the festive season, what we've been able to do is actually create 16,000 plus employment opportunities across the value chain, in logistics, in supply chain, in call centers, as well as warehouses, etc. And these opportunities, I think what really is very heartwarming is to see that around 2,500 of these opportunities have been filled by women colleagues and women employees, as well as 300 by people with disabilities. So I think we are, we have created, these employment opportunities across the ecosystem, as well as ensured that our commitment to, inclusion and diversity remains as we scale up our ecosystem and the employment opportunities. I think what is also very, very interesting for us is that we have 21,000 Kirana stores that we partner with through our Mensa network, and they will actually fulfill 80% of our orders during BFF. So these two pieces are really, really interesting as we not only, the festive season is not just for the brands and the sellers and the platform, platform, but also as we tap into the ecosystem and grow the ecosystem and expand the ecosystem.
Sure. Okay, so 6 million unique customers expected to shop. What was the average order value in the last festive sale, and what are you expecting this season? Also, if you could tell me, what will your top selling categories be?
Sure. No, it's an interesting question. And I think what is interesting about this year's festive season is the fact that it is not just about an individual, but it's about the family. I think consumers are buying for the family, and they're buying the entire look, they're buying the entire ensemble, and for different social occasions that are lined up for the festive season. And what that means for us is that across all categories, we see a huge growth. If you look at categories which were fairly nascent earlier, the teens wear and the kids wear, we actually see this festive edition, we will provide 30,000 plus styles for BFF for these categories, which means that, this is a category that has grown along with categories like jewelry, footwear. But what is very, very interesting is the kind of growth that we are seeing in beauty and personal care.
Okay.
This is a category which has been of strategic interest for us, and consumers are really, really lapping this up. We have 2 times that what we have last year. So apart from apparel, we see all of the categories growing because this festive season is about shopping the look and shopping for the family.
Okay, let's now talk about live commerce. It has become a big opportunity for e-commerce on the lines of, Alibaba's Singles Day. What is your plan for live commerce, and what kind of traffic will you be tracking?
Sure. I think, like you said, live commerce is something which has really is in the investment and nurturing stage for the last 1 year. We've been very, very actively investing in the ecosystem and building the space and being the front runner of this. And this festive season in BFF, this edition also, we will see a huge play of live commerce through our Myntra Lives, which are actually built for creating huge engagement on the platform for the brands and for the different offerings that are there for the customers. We will have close to 350 plus lives in the BFF, season, as well as 2,000 creators participating with it. I think what's also interesting is activating the social media ecosystem outside of the platform. We've launched something called Myntra Creator Pass, which allows almost 1 lakh creators to experience the live, get a sneak peek to the event before BFF begins. And we're really looking forward to their engagement on that.
All right, let's talk about the brand's growth. If you could take me through the current business growth numbers, what's the top line looking like? And also, what are the losses? Where are the losses currently standing at?
I won't be able to give you exact numbers, but I can tell you we are from all of the preparation that we are doing, it's evident, we are growing at a comfortable rate. We are really looking forward to a very, very big festive season, a very big BFF, because we are seeing all of the internal as we look at the metrics and the going in signs, consumption is picking up. People are wanting to celebrate, and we are really prepping for big numbers as we go forward.
And, as far as the IPO plans go, any timelines that you can share?
We'll keep you posted whenever there is some to share on that front, but yeah.
All right, let's talk about competition. How do you view it, especially during the festive season where almost all e-commerce companies have their big sale days with similar kind of offerings and brands? What's the Myntra Edge?
Sure. I think what has worked for us all through the years is really focusing on the customer. And what has been interesting in the Indian space is very interesting because actually it is, it is a large space and there is so many opportunities that we see with the customers. As we go into the festive season, I think 3 things will continue to be our edge. Our selection. We've been partnering with various international brands as we launch them in the country. We've launched almost 15 brands this year, and 8 more are to come. Macy's is getting launched in the country for the first time on Myntra as part of BFF. And there are, and I think the idea is to bring the best of the world fashion to the country. So we have brands from Turkey, which are Trendyol, or Italy, Free Soul, or even a South Korean brand that we're just launching called 8 Seconds. Along with that, I think a huge, how do we enable the D2C ecosystem and brands? I think those are things which will help us.
Okay. All right, Nandita, we've completely run out of time, but many thanks for joining us on Startup Street today, and wish you the very best with this big fashion sale and, of course, with all the growth plans at Myntra. Many thanks.